Well, the Western Cape Education Department is concerned about an increase in school dropouts in the foundation phase. MEC David Maynier is expected to outline plans to try and tackle that later today. Nobesuthu Hejana, eNCA reporter, joining us now from Boundary Primary School in Bonte. Well, hello to you, Nobesuthu. So what are the plans to try and get on top of this? Because as we're getting closer to the end of the year, it's going to become a serious issue, isn't it?
Certainly, Gareth. In fact, we are joined by the MEC, who's just going to be informing us about some of the intervention plans that they have, because they've also cited the discipline during the COVID-19 pandemic period, especially during the lockdown, where a number of pupils, especially those in the lower standards, were not able to sort of like stick to their periods, rather their timetables. But we're joined by the MEC, who's just going to be outlining and telling us just how bad is the situation when we talk about the impact of the COVID-19, especially for the foundation phase in the Western Cape.
So we do know from our systemic testing that we have experienced severe learning losses as a result of the pandemic. Our data shows that, for example, in mathematics in grade 3, there was a 14% decline, and in languages, an 8% decline. So we do know that there have been severe learning losses as a result of the pandemic, not just in our province, but of course across South Africa.
And let's talk about the interventions, because obviously today, as we are welcoming back the pupils or the learners back to school, we also have to address this issue. So what is the department doing to ensure that we look at those losses but we turn them into successes?
So the losses in our view are so severe that we have to act decisively and we have to act now. And for that reason, we will be announcing today that we are going to allocate an additional hour for mathematics and an additional 2 hours for reading in the foundation phase. And we'll do that within the school calendar. And we believe that over the third and fourth term will add an additional 60 hours per learner for mathematics and reading. And that contact time in the classroom, we believe, will go a long way to dealing with severe learning losses in the Western Cape.
MEC, are you able to say how many schools have been severely impacted within the province and that need that intervention, especially because we know that it's not only those affected, but like it will also go to other schools? But do we know the number of schools that recorded the loss?
Well, the data suggests that the learning losses have been severe, and that they have actually been across the board and across the system. And of course, that is because there was so much contact time, actual teaching lost as a result of the pandemic here in the Western Cape.
Sure. And is this something that has been communicated to the parents? Because I mean, I know that a lot of parents will probably have an issue with their children being at school for like extra 2 hours, but like how are we actually going to make this work practically to also ensure that the kids, they also do have their own time, or like their free time to be kids also and play?
I want to be absolutely clear that the additional 1 hour for mathematics and 2 hours for reading per learner will be executed within the school calendar and within the school day. So there will be no changes to the school day. And we will be working with teachers and parents over the coming weeks in order to make sure that this intervention is a success in the Western Cape.
Thank you very much, MEC. Well, Gareth, that was the MEC of Education in the Western Cape, Mr. David Maynier, just talking about some of the interventions that his office and the department will be doing to ensure that learning and education in the province continues unaffectedly, especially with the impact of the COVID-19 period.
Yeah, there's an awful amount of schooling that was lost over those last 3 years, 2.5, 3 years because of COVID-19. It's a good idea. I certainly hope it's going to work. No doubt we'll see the results later in the year. Nobesuthu Hejana, eNCA reporter, out for us down in the Western Cape.